Alright, so we are on the Porsche again. We are, you can see here, we've got a wideband air-fuel ratio going to a Bosch O2 sensor that I installed down below. Got decent fuel pressure. Right now it's idling really well. Yeah, 4.5 bar of oil pressure, 900 RPM. That battery light blinks because the self-exciting wire goes through the alarm system, and you can see down here I've got 13.7 volts going in right now. I had to put in a different alternator because the alternator that was on this was gone, or was blown up, and so I got one from a Turbo, which is a slightly higher amperage alternator, but I need to rewire the self-exciting wire. So right now what I do is I just rev the engine above, I think, 2500 RPM, and that will kick in the self-exciting thing. I don't know, it'll self-excite itself. I am letting the engine warm up right now because I am getting ready to utilize an exhaust gas analyzer in order to properly tune this, because this works kind of okay, but having this is a point to adjust air fuel mixture ratio, this is a point to adjust air fuel mixture ratio, this is a point to adjust air fuel mixture ratio. All three of those things were so far out of whack when I got this car. So it's been, to get it to this point has been a struggle. That looks pretty good. I mean, it's 12.8. I really like it around 13.9. And I could probably lean it out just by adjusting this slightly. Yep. There we go. Now we're running about 13.5. I think the manual says 13.9 or whatever. Once it's warmed up, it's really good. It's right when it first starts. I don't know if there's a problem with the idle air control valve, but there might be. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this get warmed up. I'm going to hook up the exhaust gas analyzer, and we'll tune it from that. Okay, so actually really interesting. On the wideband O2 sensor, I'm getting between 13.0 or so, and on this meter here, I'm getting roughly around 12.5. So I'm gonna tune this and see if we can't get this to work a little better. Where are all my screwdrivers? All right, so we're gonna try this again here. I'm just gonna go and kind of adjust this. Counterclockwise leans it out. Clockwise enriches it. So I usually just go like a click or two at a time. This did have a paint mark on it at one time where it was factory set, and then that went away. Alright, so we're reading roughly 13.2. I was wrong, actually. Richening it is counterclockwise and leaning it out was clockwise. Yeah, we're just over 13. So it was down here, now it's moved up to here. So it's a little bit more lean. I might adjust it down a little bit so it's kind of in this area here, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I've been really distracted, partly because I got this toy, but also because I have now a 9-month-old baby. So it's been like, I don't know, 7 months since we've touched the Porsche. Anyways, it's been sitting for a while. I did do the wideband, and then I also used this exhaust gas analyzer. Pretty old. Probably shouldn't have it sitting on the ground like that, but whatever. So let's see what she does. I still don't have the self-exciter hooked up to the battery light in the dash, so the alternator doesn't kick on initially until I rev it above like 2,000 RPM, and then it self-excites due to RPM, and then it starts charging the system. So I do need to get the blue wire wired in at some point. I just need to wire it into that diode on the dash, or that light bulb on the dash, and complete the circuit. The problem is currently that system runs through the old alarm system, and even with the bypass on, it won't charge. So I just need to do a simple loop through the light. That's how they're supposed to work. And so when it's not exciting, not charging, the light on the dash comes on, it closes the loop, or it's a resistance thing. I don't remember exactly how it works, but in theory, that's what it is. So I think this is as close as I'm going to get it to tuned. But yeah, let's just see what happens here. Let the pump kick on a couple times. We're sitting at 11.2 volts. That's pretty awesome. A little under 900 tack, but that could just be because it's cold. We got really good oil pressure. Charging status, we're at 11. And there you see it hops up to 13.4, 13.5, and it stays there. And I mean, that's the best throttle response I've had in this thing to date. So LED dome light. I got a ton of work to do back here to clean this up and get those latches back in. I think the latches are broken. But yeah, I have the Continental Bluetooth, kind of period correct looking radio. I like it, but I think it's a little hoppy just because right around 1300 RPMs it likes to hiccup a bit. But then it's fine after that, so that sounds like a fuel delivery issue. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at the spark plugs after a bit to see how we're actually running. Now it's at 13.7 volts. We're rocking at like 30 psi on fuel. That is the Radium fuel pulse dampener, and then I have a factory pressure regulator.
Okay, so I think I know what that is, because now we're at 13.3, 13.2. Acceleration's a lot better, a lot snappier. I think the idle air control valve is dumping air in, leading the mixture out or something. I don't know. It is fumey, and we are blowing some white smoke, but it's been sitting for a while. I'm gonna shut it off now because I'm in my garage. Okay. I do have an exhaust fan we put in here, so yeah, we'll clean the fumes out of here. Disconnect that wideband. Huh. That idle air control valve's got to be the issue, because it was running cold, had it running a little bit, starting to heat up, and then I noticed that the air fuel mixture just dropped, running right in the neutral area there. So you do want to warm these up when you tune them, which I did before when I used the exhaust gas analyzer. You don't do it just cold start idle. You let it warm up first, and then you put that in their tube, and that burns off some of that condensation that builds up. So you don't want condensation getting in there. But these things together were like very similar, very close. So yeah, I'm guessing it's the idle air control valve. So as soon as that heated up, this was fine. So I either just need to let it run warm. It's also, I've got the heater on in my garage, and we're at about 65, but this thing, it's warming up now. It's warm now, but it's 12 degrees outside. I'm in Minnesota, so not a lot of snow, but it is cold. Anyways, I would consider that a victory. I honestly think because my garage, I didn't have the heat on last night. I'm impressed it just fired up like that without giving it any gas or anything. So I'm gonna call that good for now. In the springtime, when I'm able to get it out and run it quite a bit more, we'll see if it needs some more fine tuning. I'm kind of tired of messing with this. I get it close and then I start dinking with it, and it's just an issue. It's tested out, it's ohmed out perfectly fine, so I don't think that's an issue at all. Haven't had any problems with that. And I replaced the thermostat for it, or the temperature sending unit for it. All that's good. But yeah, so when we have time, which between my job and a new baby, have had zero time to really do anything. And I got that for a pretty sick deal. And I've just kind of been dinking with it, even though it runs and drives fine. But I do want to get back on this. I want to get the body work finished. We're so close on this back quarter panel. I just got some touch-up work to do here, right here, and then down there, and just kind of clean up the wheel well. And I'm gonna call it good. There's a couple other dings. I think I might plug this hole up. That was for the key for the alarm. I don't have the key for that anymore. I might put the tumbler back in just to make it look kind of period correct, but I don't have the key, and it's not hooked up to anything. Also, I don't know if they hit jack stands or something pierced this. It kind of looks to me like it was on a jack stand that tipped over, and super unfortunate, but I'm just gonna make that look okay. I don't care. This is a driver that's not gonna be museum quality at all. So we're just gonna play with it. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna paint it satin black, because regardless of the purists out there, this isn't the factory color, and I don't like the factory color. It's like some maroon Merlot wine color. But anyways, I'm gonna go satin black because I've got a gallon and a half of that, and we're just gonna shoot her at some point probably this spring, because I got too much stuff in here that I would have to cover up. But we're gonna get everything ready for that point. So this is gonna get stripped down, door handles off, and get it all prepped up and ready for paint. So that's the plan. If I do any other updates before then, I'll let you in on it. It'll probably just be body work stuff, nothing really crazy with running at this point, because I think it's running pretty good. So that's where we're at. Sorry about the noise. I don't want to die in here, so I've got the exhaust fan going. I do have a carbon monoxide sensor over there because I have a heater, and it's not beeping at me, so we're probably good. Anyways, take it easy and we'll see you later. All right, so one of my alligator clips had melted, but we're reading right now, idling 15.8, 16, that's high. So I think I can adjust that a little bit here.